So here we are, just outside the Melbourne Cricket Ground, after what has been an historic, epic Test match. A record crowd came to witness today. Also, another 70 plus thousand crowd. An all-time record at the Melbourne Cricket Ground for a Test match, for any cricket match. The last record was in the 1936 Ashes when Don Bradman was playing. That's the kind of Test match we have had. The match that went in the last session, last hour of play, across 5 days without any rain interruption. But in the end, there was supposed to be just one winner. In this case, it's Australia who have beaten India by 184 runs, taken a 2-1 lead, and positioned themselves as a strong contender for the World Test Championship final. Hello and welcome to this episode of Diaries from Down Under. And in this episode, we look at all that happened in this particular test match and what the captains had to say as well. Let's start from the beginning. India did not take long to take the last one wicket. Bumrah completed with another fight for his third of the series. He almost had one in Adelaide as well. In this match, he has taken nine. He's taken 70 plus wickets in this year at an average, ridiculous average of 14. That's the kind of year he has had just in Test cricket. The other formats is another story completely, but very extremely ridiculous years. His record is in this series 30 plus wickets in the series. It's probably the first time a visiting fast bowler have done such a thing since Curtly Ambrose in the early 90s. There are journalists, there are people who have been doing this for 30 years and they say this is the best fast bowler visiting fast bowler they've ever seen. That's the kind of impact Bumrah has left. However, with little effect it has had on the results because others haven't perhaps pulled up the weight. Chasing 340 was not always not an option. I mean, they wanted to take it as they go, which is how teams mostly do. But Australia bowled really well. Scott Boland, Mitchell Starc, Pat Cummins, they kept at it. They kept at it. They did not give a loose ball in the first 10 overs. They did not give a loose ball in the first session of play, which eventually led to Rohit Sharma's dismissal. He played only two bad shots throughout the 40 ball that he faced, and the second one ended up being the one that he got caught in the slip garden and another leading edge, which tells a lot about the kind of state of mind and the form that he is in. But it's not just him that who's been through a rut, Virat Kohli as well. If Rohit Sharma was about sustained pressure built by the Australians, Kohli just let it go in terms of just on the stroke of lunch and the last over before lunch. He was stuck in the crease. He chased wide delivery with his hands. Mitchell Starc away, angled away, just chased at it and then got caught in the slip garden and walked away. It's another dreadful ending to what has been a glorious career, but the career has not ended. That's been the topic of discussion in terms of how long are these two players gonna go. One pretty good test player since he become an open rather one of the greatest test batters to have played for India, but it's been on a prolonged lull. How long are India gonna carry them? That's a question for later. But for now, after they got out, India were 33 for 3. India were KL Rahul too got out, so India were 33 for 3. But Rishabh Pant and Yashasvi Jaiswal looked really good in the second session. They got to the second session and without giving away any wickets, and it seemed like India were in it for it. India were going for the draw because the last session they needed 6 runs per over. The win was never in their mind. They just wanted to bat time and see how what happens in the last hour. But Rishabh Pant had one of those brain fade moments, as he did in the first innings, where he tried to scoop uh, Scott Boland, and this time it was Travis Head of all people who bowled a long hop and Pant hit straight to the fielder at long on, and that was the trigger point for everything that happened since. Till that point, India were looked set. They were batting time. Uh, they were looked set to bat through the third session to hold on to a draw and go into Sydney 1-1 with a chance to win the series. Not just draw and retain the trophy, but also win the series. However, that was not to be. Once Pant got out, it was India were mentally messed up. Who came after Ravindra Jadeja? He got out immediately, and then Nitish Reddy came in. Nathan Lyon worked beautifully to remove the right-hander, and that was just the beginning of the downfall. Washington Sundar, he looked as good as he was in the first innings as well. He was leaving balls. He was just batting and batting and batting. He was not looking for runs, while Jaiswal just kept pegging away with the occasional boundaries and singles. But in the end, Jaiswal's dismissal is something we have to talk about. It's Pat Cummins had been running in all through the day. He's been relentless throughout the Test match. He had scored a couple of 40s. He had taken 3 wickets in the first innings as well. He came back, he kept running in, and one of those angled in shot off cutter bouncer of delivery, which Jaiswal couldn't leave. Awkwardly tried to hook, got some glove on it, which did not show on the Snicko, which led to a lot of debate in terms of technology and stuff. But nobody denied the fact that he actually hit it, including Captain Rohit Sharma, who admitted that yes, he clearly hit it, but you have to decide which do you want to use, the visual evidence of it or the technology, and that's what Rohit's question were, not the legitimacy of the dismissal. But once that happened, it was just a matter of time. Uh, Bumrah, Siraj, Akashdeep, they all fell one after another, and Washington Sundar was left stranded out in the middle as everybody embraced Nathan Lyon to celebrate what has been an historic, epic win. Cummins even admitted that it's been one of the greatest wins they've ever been a part of, and this is a pretty aging group, and they're probably in their last leg in terms of the years, 1 or 2 years. They have some fresh blood in terms of Sam Constas, but otherwise they are a very, very, very experienced side. They've taken an unassailable 2-1 lead, and this victory means a lot to quite a few of them out in that team, because they have not beaten India in a Test series. The last time India lost a Test in Melbourne was 2011. The last time India lost a Test series in Australia was in 2014. It's been more than a decade since India have lost a Test series to Australia, whether it's in India or outside, wherever you name it. And now with there is a rain forecast for the last 2 days of the Sydney match, but now with everything considered, Australia stand very, very strong in terms of how to take things forward. It's a very short turnaround. The match starts on 3rd January at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Rohit Sharma will have to reflect and look forward to where he stands as a batter and a captain. Same for Virat Kohli as well. Same for the selectors as well. How long are they gonna let the seniors who are in the last leg of their careers, who are not performing, weigh down the positions? With the youngsters waiting in the ranks, there's Sarfraz Khan, there's Jiril, there's a lot of people who are waiting to fill up the holes. The Shubman Gill, who was left out because of the combination India wanted to play. There is a lot to discuss about. There is a lot of post-mortem to be done, but for now, India wants to uh, switch it back on in Sydney, try and give it everything there to win the Test match and seal the series. Because remember, they are still in contention for the World Test Championship final. If they win in Sydney and Australia do not win a match in Sri Lanka, which is where they play next. They play 2 Test matches in Sri Lanka. If India wins in Sydney and Australia do not win a single match in Sri Lanka, India will go through to the World Test Championship final. If Australia wins one of the 3 matches, whether it's Sydney or the 2-1s in Colombo and 2-1s in Sri Lanka, they will go through. For Sri Lanka, Sydney has to be a draw, and then they have to win 2-0. A lot of mathematical calculations will be in play, but for India, the issues dig deeper than that. The issues dig deeper than just that Jaiswal dismissal, just that punch shot. The issues are about transition, about giving it, about captaincy, about tactics, about playing the right combination, about looking to take 20 wickets. And that's something the head coach Gautam Gambhir, who hasn't addressed the press conference since landing in Australia, and then Chief Selector Ajit Aggarkar and the BCCA will have to look at once the series is done. Before that, will there be any surprises? Only time will tell. Will Rohit Sharma step down? Will Rohit Sharma drop himself? I don't. If personally, I don't think he will. He didn't look like it. He said he wants to stay in the present. He still have a chance at leveling the series as a captain, and he would want to take it and give everything he can. But you never know. Only time will tell the answer for that, and when it happens, we will be there to bring you all the updates from Sydney as well. But for now, Australia 2-1, a historic Test match at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. 184 run for Australia, win for Australia, another deflating loss for India. And that's where the series stands, that's where the trophy stands, and that's where we sign off from Melbourne. We will be back from Sydney with more stories, with more updates on what's happening in the lead up to the New Year's Test. Until then, stay tuned to the TNI videos and socials to catch the regular updates. Thank you so much.